Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Standing here by the Pullmax, and I had to get some sheet metal parts finished because I got some other stuff going on in the shop here. This is a small fab building in the back. Not a lot of room in here, but I had to get some sheet metal stuff done. I didn't get a lot of footage on that, but we'll get some pictures of it. But the Pullmax, I got this Pullmax almost 30 years ago. This is a deep throat. It has the air lift and everything. It's a very, very nice Pullmax. It's been operating flawlessly all this time. And I just want to talk about, we're going to do some more sheet metal videos coming up. And a lot of guys ask me, if you had to buy one tool, what's it going to be? And the Pullmax is probably it. You could do a lot of stuff on that. You could do beading, you could do joggling, you could do louvering, you could do shrinking if you make shrinking dies. Last I counted, I had well over 100 dies that I made, and it's a go-to machine. So if you had to have one machine in your shop, or you could only afford one machine, look for a Pullmax or a reciprocating machine like this, and you'd be very happy with it. Like I say, I'm going to show you some panels I made for the Jeep Scrambler, and you'll see the kind of work that can come off a machine like this. It does take some skill, it does take some understanding of how metal works, and when I show you some panels, you know, they look like they're simple to make, but a lot of pre-stretching and stuff like that to put beads in to make the panel lay flat. So there's a lot to do, but if you get yourself a Pullmax or like I say, a reciprocating machine, and put that in your shop, and you have the ability to make some dies, you'll be in good shape. So let's go take a look at the panels, and I'll show you what's going on. Okay guys, there's the whole back end of the Jeep Scrambler made. These little panels right here, this is what the roll bar is going to sit on. That bead right there, you're close to the end there, you're close to the end there. This is going to get all wrinkled up here and all wrinkled up here. So on the power hammer, I pre-stretched that whole area right there. And let's go over to some tooling. There's the tooling. I think you can see a little flat spot on top right there. If you try and do that without pre-stretching, you're going to have a lot of shrinking to do here. So the best way to do that is to pre-stretch it. Okay, now the floor, this was a bear. This was, I had all kinds of tables and stuff set up, and this was a real bear to make. This is 18 gauge. American steel. All these hat channels and stuff, I make out of 14 gauge steel. Everything is spot welded in as it's supposed to be. And here's the back. And these are even more of a pain because you have a longer bead and a short bead. Again, this was completely stretched, and then I had to die into Pullmax to make the beads. And you can see there's not much distortion. I do have a little bit of distortion left to get out. You could see that it's a little flimsy, so it's not bad. You know, the panel is mostly relaxed. It's not real bad. When I start welding that in, it's going to fit just fine. But when you put that many beads in a panel and put that many spot welds on a panel, you know, if you got just a tiny little bit of twisting or distortion, it's not the end of the world. So I had to get all this stuff done because you know, like I say, space in here is tricky, and I'm getting a cold saw set up. And but before we get into that, let me just show you some Pullmax tooling stuff you can do with this. That is a joggling. They call it joggling. It's just a step that's going to go up and down like that. There are some shrinking dies that I made. And if you set up your machine right, you can shrink very quickly and efficiently on a Pullmax. There is the Scrambler tooling. There is some louver tooling. And you see, when you twist it, you could finish the ends on it, which is nice. And there's the shape of the louver right there. So, like I say, Pullmax is a fantastic tool if you guys are thinking of putting a machine in your shop. Okay guys, there's a Scotchman Cold Saw that I just picked up. And I was unsure if I wanted to go with a cold saw or a little bit faster spinning evolution type saw or something like that. There's the material. I got some roller tables set up. I got another one. That door opens outside. We'll have another table. And here's the outfeed table. But I was unsure which way I wanted to go. And I do so much different stuff. I figured the cold saw would give me more cutting, use for die material, tube, bar, you can cut just about anything. I got the coolant hooked up. I've got everything kind of lubed up. It was a little rusty when I got it. I got a super deal on this one. It is a 14-inch saw. It is a variable speed unit. It's a 350, and a CPO 350 means that it's take a 350 millimeter blade. And I have one on order because the one in here was shot, but it runs perfect. I'm just going to kind of temporarily bolt it to the floor so it doesn't move when I set up my stop for all the this is what I got to cut. I got to cut all these guys right here, and I got to cut almost 400 of those. I wound up putting a few more posts in, so the building it keeps growing every time I do something. But I got to cut almost 400 of these pieces. There's the blade that came off there. It's a mess. But so had to get this set up, which means I had to get everything done on the Pullmax because I had to move some stuff around. So Scott, that is the whole back end of your Scrambler, and I'll get that in just as soon as I can. But anyway, so cold saw sitting here, and that'll be the next thing I kind of start getting into is making the trusses for the new building. But like I say, there's the Pullmax again. Don't be afraid of a machine like that. You can do absolutely anything you put your mind to. You could do a lot of stuff with that. I do some wire edging on that. Your imagination is all it takes. You could do a lot of stuff on there. So, like I say, that's a big machine. It's got the biggest throat that they ever made on it, so it's helpful. The Rotex here is on wheels, so that goes out. And then I got 64 inches of throat on that one. Most of them are not that big, but if you're starting out, they make these in all different sizes, and you get them for all different prices. And there's a lot of tooling out there for them. Okay, guys, we're gonna end this one here today. I just wanted to show you the sheet metal stuff. In future videos, when I start building that body for the 3B welder Jeep, I'll show more of the actual stuff happening. But I really just needed to get this stuff done. Now, between making the tooling, buying the sheet metal, making all the parts, if I had another person, it might have been easier. I wouldn't have had to set up so many tables and stuff to support it. But you're looking at about a week of solid work into making all these pieces. But they came out absolutely beautiful. I really think they're going to be a great addition to the Scrambler. And it just takes what it takes. If you want good American-made stuff, it takes a little bit of time. So I just want to let everybody know, don't ask me to make stuff here. As I make stuff now, I am getting rid of my patterns, and I'm putting the tooling away, and I'm not planning on making stuff like this. It is very difficult to do it by myself. I don't have anybody to give me a hand with it, so I'm not going to struggle with stuff like this anymore. So I'm not making. I just want to let you guys know I'm not making this for sale. I just make stuff like this for customers. So we're going to end it right here today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, get the videos out there to friends and people like that you think would enjoy them, and trying to grow the channel every day. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.